We're glad you're still with us here on Morning at NTV, and if you're just joining us, welcome on board. We are at the segment where we are taking note of the existing approaches for youth unemployment in the country. There have been a series of interventions on the part of government to ensure that the youth are enabled to transform themselves in all aspects of life, business, social and economic. Before I introduce my guest who will be helping us understand exactly what is happening and what ought to happen, let me just give you a preamble. In 2022, the youth unemployment rate in Uganda remained nearly unchanged at around 6.58%. The World Bank estimates that 700,000 young people reach working age every year in Uganda, and this is bound to rise by an average of 1 million between 2030 and 2040. In the 2023-2024 financial year, the budget speech, Finance Minister reported that close to 380,000 employment opportunities have been created under the initiative Emyoga, a wealth and job creation campaign. This is part of the interventions that I've talked about. We are now joined by Mr. Joshua Kyalimpa, the Head Communications and Advocacy at Youth Livelihood Program UWEP in the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. Mr. Kyalimpa, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you for hosting me on this show.
You're most welcome. Yeah. Existing approaches to youth unemployment. First and foremost, what is the state of affairs when it comes to youth and employment opportunities? I don't want to say youth unemployment.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. I think before I came in, I was following the other discussion that you had about artificial intelligence. And,
that's right.
Somebody was saying that there are many youth, for example, who have devices, but what are they
choosing to do with these devices?
So basically, but I'll concentrate about the programs that are within the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. I know that there is a cocktail of programs by government, all aimed at supporting the empowerment of youth in this country.
That's right.
Uganda is quite blessed. We have the youngest population in the world because we have about 78% of the population under the age of 30. We've seen other countries where the biggest population is composed of old people. Last time I was seeing in France, old people demonstrating when the retirement age was being raised.
Pension protests.
So in Uganda we have young people. The beauty about young people is that they have the energy. They have the energy, but we have to harness such that we can get dividends from this youthful population.
Okay.
Now, government has come up with different measures. Again, it is within the Ministry of Gender mandate to also engender other government programs, even without the Ministry of Gender, such that they take care of interests of the young people. Under the Ministry of Gender, there is the Youth Livelihood Program. The Youth Livelihood Program provides funds to young people so that they can start enterprises of their choice. We also have the Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, which targets the women, but also we know that majority of the so-called women are actually young people. Because we know that in Uganda, if somebody produces a child, even if they are 17 or 18, they will be regarded as women.
Yeah, sure.
And we have many in that category, and they can benefit from those programs. So what we are doing is our government allowed plowing back, because these are revolving funds which started way back. For example, the Youth Livelihood Program was launched in the financial year 2014. And from that time, we've been dispensing money to youth. Even as early as last week, about 3 billion shillings was sent back to the local governments. So what happened is that the youth are supposed to start enterprises of their choice. The entry point is at the local government. There is a person at the sub-county called the Community Development Officer, where the youth are supposed to submit their files of application. They are processed at the level of the district and then forwarded to the Ministry of Gender, where the final approval is made. The difference now is that the funds are determined by how much is recovered in a local government. We have been giving money since 2014, and as a result, some districts have been able to recover more money than others. What we've done is that whatever you recover is then plowed back to that particular government for the benefit of other young people. And this is happening across the country. And we hope that while this may not be the solution alone, it can be part of the bigger approaches that government is taking.
Yeah. When you say this might not be the solution, as in acting alone, meaning there are a series of interventions. And the uncomfortable question would be the overlapping nature of these initiatives, one into the other, before we can understand where we can benchmark or improve on the last, we are moving into another. For example, we now have the parish development model. It has a youth impediment, or rather impetus to it. And then you're wondering, how do we move from one into the other? How do we understand that this one worked and we can leverage on the positives, this one didn't, and this is what we should do to improve on the success of the next?
First of all, to understand that the youth are not a homogeneous group. You have youth in different categories.
That's right.
And all interventions are targeting a particular segment of that youth population. It's true. Even the parish development model you're talking about, the implementation of YRP so much informed the design of that program. The Ministry of Gender participated wholeheartedly in the design of the parish development model, and we ensured, like I said, that even programs that are without the Ministry of Gender, it is the duty of the Ministry of Gender within her mandate to ensure that such programs address the issues of a population which is within her mandate. Take, for example, we ensured that there is 30% allocation for the youth under the parish development model. We also ensured that there is 30% allocation for women in the parish development model. Now, the difference here is that, like I said, that the youth are not a homogeneous group. We have youth who have gone to school, and we have youth who have not had the opportunity to go to school.
That's right.
That's why, even beyond, over and above what we are talking about, there are other programs that look at skilling the young people. For example, some people are coming out of university. They have some skills. Maybe they did SWASA, maybe they did what. You've had President talk about different programs, university programs.
That's right.
Now, once they come out, they can be imparted with some other extra skills that they can use for survival. And now, if within the ministry, I talked about YRP, I talked about UWEP, but there's also other programs like Juakali, where the youth are given equipment, for purposes of undertaking their enterprise. For example, if they are welders, they are given the equipment to be able to do the welding.
That's right.
If they are carpenters, they are given equipment to be able to do the carpentry. So, yes, there are many interventions of government, but that should only serve to prove that the government is committed towards harnessing the dividends of a youth population that we have. Great.
I'm afraid time is not our best ally. In light of the discussion you said you followed very closely about AI that preceded this one, technology is crucial in ensuring that the youth find the jobs that they want, but most importantly, be part of the innovation landscape and architecture that is available, either from the private sector or the government. There must be a collaboration mechanism that ought to bring the best results forward. Where are we on this? Is it something that is being pushed vigorously, or we are relying entirely on?
No, this is really something that is dear to us. We partner with the other institutions. For example, we have learned in the implementation of the programs that there is urgent need for adoption of appropriate technologies, even in terms of production.
That's right.
Even in terms of marketing. We have women, for example, who are producing baskets, crafts. Now, they could be in Kasese, but they are across the country. Right. Now, how will people in Kampala or people in Nigeria or America know the existence of such products? Where they have employed technologies like that, they have been able to open to the foreign market. So I have groups which are exporting their products to UK, to Northern Ireland, all that thanks to adoption of technologies. So while we implement programs, we are cognizant of the fact that the way forward will be the adoption of such technologies for the betterment of the people.
Okay. Joshua Kyalimpa, the head communications and advocacy at Youth Livelihood Program, as well as the Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Program, and the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. Many thanks for the perspective and making time. All right, our team is on the ground and updates on the situation in Busabala ahead of the much anticipated but contested special or extraordinary National Delegates Conference of the Forum for Democratic Change will be coming your way later on NTV at 1, but you can also catch that on NTV Akaongezi as well as NTV Tonight. I'm out of time, but on behalf of the team that is behind the scenes, ensuring that it's a smooth ride, 6:30 to 9 o'clock, many thanks for the job being done, and many thanks to you too for keeping us company on a daily basis. I'm Chris Higenyi. It's been a pleasure being your host. I'll be back tomorrow and continue with our lifestyle and finding out exactly what we can do on our part to be better Ugandans and make a great nation. Good day.